Hey, wellness culture. I am here. It's 4:15 my time, and I'm here to chat pregnancy and nutrition and supplementation. What does that look like? So, if you have a friend who's pregnant or is hoping to get pregnant or is in postpartum, I have some news for you. So, I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I realized I was moving my chair back and forth. So, I will do my best not to do that. Okay, so I don't know about you, but for me, when I first got pregnant with my oldest, the only thing that I really learned in terms of supplementation was from my mom. So my mom, there were 6 of us kids. She had me and then had a miscarriage and then my youngest brother. So there was a miscarriage of number 5. And she had taught me a lot about just healthy food options choices. So some of that being like, hey, you don't go buy a Pop-Tart, you don't microwave it, you don't do that kind of stuff. So for me, I received from her a great family doctor who was using supplementation, and I used some of his prenatals. And then with my second baby, I didn't, here we go. I didn't think I could afford all of the supplements. Ooh. And so I didn't take them. And so then for my third, I didn't also take them because I didn't have money. We were in seminary. We're going to, we'll be fine. I'll just eat enough for the baby. Okay, guys, it's not a good idea. There's a couple of reasons of that. One, your body cannot absorb the nutrients that it needs from the soil. And here's why. Because the soil has been depleted from a whole bunch of different things. One is the farming practices. They used to rotate crops because as you rotate crops, you give the soil nutrients back. And also there are years of rest for the soil to be able to replenish and heal itself. Yeah, so with modern, all the wisdom we have in this modern age, we decided that we're going to take shortcuts and be able to spray to get rid of the pests and get bigger fruit. However, when you do that, you kill the boron. And boron is a mineral in the soil that speaks from the soil to the plant and gets the nutrients from the soil into the plant. When you kill boron, you can make big fruit, but it's nutrient deficient. Ooh, so even if you're eating all organic, all great, whatever, your food is nutrient deficient, which is really a struggle. So when I started to go downhill, when I wasn't supplementing, I would say brain fog became really bad. I couldn't stay awake. I felt so exhausted all the time, and I was cranky with my kids because, let's be honest, when you don't have the nutrients you need, your body you become like a bear and you growl at the people who you feel are causing you not to be able to rest. But it was to the point where I could not function. I would wake up in the morning, feel completely exhausted. I mean, the kids are up at 6-ish. Take care of them in the morning, get breakfast. Stephen would go to classes. He'd come back at lunchtime. I would try and get them down for nap time. And I was like, Lord, please let them go down, because if they don't, I was just a bear. I had to take a nap in the afternoon. If I didn't get a nap in the afternoon, I was just like a zombie the rest of the day. And then at around 5 o'clock, I was done. Here's dinner. I'm done. I can't even stay awake till 7. So that's when I started going, okay, I really need to pay attention to this, especially if I want to have more children. And I've had a great heart for, a big heart for children. As the Lord has said, children are a blessing from the Lord, and I believe him. So I needed to heal my body. So let's start for pre-pregnancy. So there are a couple of things. There's a great book called It Starts with the Egg by, I want to make sure I get her name right, Rebecca Fett. It's a great book. I would highly recommend it for anyone who is looking at getting pregnant or has experienced endometriosis or IVS, is that how you say it? I'm totally sorry if I said the wrong letters. And then miscarriage, those type of things, or had a hard time getting pregnant. Talks about some environmental factors that can cause it, some of the things that are happening inside your body. Highly recommend that book. Okay, the other thing is looking at your hormones. What are you allowing in your body and in your home? So for me, one of the things that I kind of just knew as a mom, because I had started learning before, that there are a lot of things in your life, in society, that are accepted as normal. So in the United States, there are only 13 chemicals that are banned, like completely banned. And in the European Union, it's over 1,300. The reason being because if you make it a fragrance, you can call that a trade secret and you don't have to list the ingredients. The problem with that is that a whole bunch of these different things are called xenoestrogens. It means they're estrogen-like. So when they go into the body, your thyroid looks at them and says, I think that's estrogen, so we won't make any. It's not estrogen, which causes your progesterone levels, which remember pro-gestation, pro-baby, starts looking at that and saying, that ain't right. That's not estrogen. I can't bind to it and get it out, because the way that your cycle is supposed to work every month is your progesterone and estrogen play back and forth. One half is estrogen dominant, one half is progesterone. And they bind together, and at the end, when they start that whole cycle again, they're supposed to go and bind out into your liver, which is then supposed to flush out the hormones. If you're not getting that process of flushing out the hormones and they're staying inside, you're going to have buildup of things like cysts, buildup of things like cramping, buildup of things like really heavy clotting. So those things are really important to pay attention to for your hormones. So one of the things that I found extremely helpful for myself was taking Progessence Plus. Progessence Plus is something that I find as a great serum. It's a natural progesterone from wild yams. If you go and get on a progesterone like shots and stuff, those are often synthetic, which means your body may not be able to absorb them. Progessence Plus is a natural progesterone, which is combined with essential oils from Young Living, and it has the serum bound together. And what it does is that it helps to bind to the xenoestrogens in your body to excrete them. Isn't that great? I need that in my life. Most people are estrogen dominant in terms of xenoestrogens in the body, but your estrogen levels may be very low. So it's good to learn about the hormone balancing for that. Some of the things that have xenoestrogen are like plastics, personal care products, you guys. If I do nothing else, like if you're not getting pregnant or any of those things, get rid of your personal care products and switch to clean ones. And greenwashing is a thing. So look at labels. Anything that says fragrance or even essential oils, beware. Okay, so know where you're getting your sourcing from. I do trust Young Living oils, so I'm just saying that. Okay, so balancing hormones. Another one is your adrenals. So if you have had a baby and you want to get pregnant again, pregnancy itself depletes your adrenals. It just does. There's nothing you can do about it. In the sense of it's causing a stress to the body. Your adrenals, right over your kidneys, right around your kidneys. I'm not going to pretend to be really awesome at biology, but it's near your kidneys. Your adrenals are part of your hormone system. So your thyroid, the endocrine system is what functions above the thyroid, then the thyroid, and then the adrenals and the ovaries. When you are every month ovulating, that is, your ovaries are in charge of your female hormones. When you go into, what is it called? When you finish cycling, come on, Lydia, menopause. Your ovaries are saying, my job is done. I'm passing the responsibility back to the adrenals. If you have not cared and built up your adrenals, you will experience horrible menopausal symptoms because your adrenals are saying, I'm done. And you're telling me I'm in charge again? And your ovaries are like, it's not my job anymore. You have to go. So adrenals thrive and live off of B vitamins. B vitamins. So when you're stressed, you pump out something called cortisol. Cortisol is what the adrenals pump out when you are in a fight, flight, freeze situation. They're designed to go for a very short amount of time and then stop. If you are pumping them out every day, what's going to happen is your adrenals are going to be shot. So when you're pregnant, you are pumping out a lot because you're making a baby. On top of that, if you live in our world, you're going to have stress. So B vitamins are huge. Now, a lot of people talk about MTHFR. I'd recommend talking to your doctor. One of the awesome ones that I found helpful is Super B. That's another supplement from Young Living. I love Super B. I notice a huge difference. What I found is the Ningxia Nitro is full of B vitamins. I love that one. So just FYI. for if you love Ningxia. Okay, so things to help your adrenals. One is B vitamins. The other is, just as a nutritional thing, coffee. The coffee itself is not necessarily bad or good for you. The way it's processed can be good or bad for you. The way that American coffee is processed is actually bad, meaning that every time you drink it, your adrenals are pumping out cortisol. So if you're adrenally fatigued, you are causing adrenal exhaustion by drinking coffee. I'm sorry to tell you that. That's the case. So I would highly recommend looking for another source of energy. For me, mine is Ningxia Red, because I notice that instead of having that like spike of energy and then you feel like crap, sorry, my language, afterwards, like in the afternoon, if I had coffee in the morning, you feel like, okay, I have this energy, I can do all this stuff. And in the afternoon, you just crash. That's not the case with Ningxia Red. Instead, it's giving you the nutrients, because it's an antioxidant. It's helping for your body to absorb the good and help you to sustain it. Now, I'm pregnant, so I'm tired. And there's no getting around being tired. Your body is designed to sleep when you're pregnant. So don't beat yourself up. Okay, so these are things that I found really, really helpful in pre-pregnancy to the things that I found the most helpful. Ningxia Red, hugely, hugely helpful for building up your body. And then Super Bees. Now, another one, and Progestins Plus, to be able to start balancing out your hormones. I also got rid of a lot of the personal care products and switched them to natural ones. Do you know that you really, like, sometimes all the smell that you're experiencing from, like, that you use deodorant for is often your body excreting toxins. So if you're getting rid of more of the toxins that are happening because you're using personal care products, it's amazing that the smell goes down. Fun fact. Okay, so you're welcome, all this information. Okay, so another thing for nutrition that helped me a ton is eliminating sugar. Okay, guys, I did something, and this is me being pregnant. I made these chocolate peanut butter. I was trying to make eggs for the kids for Easter, and instead they ended up being like blobs, but that's fine. So I made them from scratch, and it was like good sugar. It wasn't like really, processed sugar. But even in eating them, I recognized my body's like, oh, okay. So note to self, sugar is not a good tool and a building block for good nutrition. So if you wonder, why do I feel the next day? It's because you had sugar. Okay, so the other one is two things that are super, super helpful for before is live foods. So this is another one of my big beefs, and you guys can hate me for it, but the microwave when it was designed as a bioweapon during a war. Yeah, because it goes back and forth, neutron, positive, negative polarities, really fast, heats up. They were trying to make it into a weapon, and they went, oh, I guess you could do that and nuke food. It's called nuking for a reason. After 3 seconds of having food in the microwave, all of the enzymes in the food are gone. They have all been killed. They have also, on top of that, any root vegetables become carcinogenistic. Become a carcinogen. That means that the food you're eating can be making you sick. So we got rid of our microwave, and I can't tell you how much our health improved. So that's another nutrition thing. It might take a little bit of time, but I guarantee that it doesn't take a whole lot longer to put your food in the oven to heat it up. It's only about 5 to 10 minutes longer. Okay. I love you. That's why I'm telling you. Okay, so now we've talked about pre-pregnancy. So let's talk about pregnancy and how to support nutrition, healthy nutrition, and supplementation. So when I am pregnant, what I have been finding is that prenatals are awesome, but finding a good source of it. So here's something that is an important word to know: bioavailability. So if you have a supplement and you buy it from the grocery store, it may not even have any of the nutrients and vitamins it says it does, because there's not very much regulation. So you can buy something and find out it has none of it. So bioavailability means that you can absorb it. So if you have, this is something interesting that I learned, the FDA makes sure that anytime you have B vitamins, they talk about how much folic acid is in it. Folic acid is not the natural form of that. The natural form is folate, not folic acid. It's folate. So if you're taking folic acid, that is not bioavailable to the body, meaning it's not easy for the body to process and use. Folate is, which is is a natural thing in foods that have B vitamins. And that's what they talk about in pregnancy, that you need a lot of folic acid, folate. So B vitamins have folate in it. So that's a huge one. Another thing I was going to say is when you have a supplement that you buy from the store, when you pop that pill and swallow it, your body can only absorb about 30% of it before it literally is flushed down the toilet, because it needs something to bind to. So there are some that are called fat soluble and some are water soluble. So like vitamin C is water soluble, which means you don't store it in your body. After however long you ate it, it's gone and you need more. That's not the case with some fat soluble, but it needs to be able to be bioavailable to store, as opposed to just go down the toilet. So when I started using Young Living's supplements, they all have essential oils in them. And this is why it's really important. When you have a volatile compound like essential oils in them, the volatile compound means that when you open a bottle of oil, they're shooting out of the bottle, because that's how you smell it so quickly. They also, because they're volatile, that means that they bind really quickly to things. So when you take that pill, it is immediately trying to bind to the supplement that it has and absorb it into the body. That's what it's designed to do. So you can get about 80-85% of a supplement in the first 24 hours and not have it flushed down the toilet. So when you look at supplements and you say, wow, that's so much more expensive, how many more of those pills did you have to take if you bought them from the grocery store that is literally just going down the toilet? So I started taking Master Formula. It is not a prenatal, but it has all of the main vitamins in it. So it has A, B, I think a little bit of C, E. I can't even remember all of them, but it's one of my absolute favorite. I'll tell you my story after of what happened postpartum when I started taking that, because that's when I first started taking it. But this pregnancy, I've been taking Master Formula every day. Oh my gosh, if I miss it, you guys, I am very tired. So Master Formula, Ningxia Red. Ningxia Red is a powerhouse. There are people who swear by it, saying it's something called Ningxia placenta. So Ningxia placenta is something of the nutrients that's able to absorb into the placenta. Ningxia Red is an antioxidant, so it's helping your body to bring in good and flush out bad. That's what an antioxidant is supposed to do. Okay, so the other one that is huge for me is one of the things that causes morning sickness. So, or you can have all day sickness. In my case, I usually have a kind of all day sickness where it's not throw up. It's just like, kind of feeling. The thing that causes that is the raise in your hormones. So you have progesterone rising, you have estrogen rising, you have all of those rising significantly because you're making a baby, which needs those hormones as well. What happens if you have this back and forth of hormones happening is that if they're imbalanced, you're going to have some nausea going on, feeling nauseated, as my dad says. And so supporting your hormones is super important. So I continue to take Progestins Plus. I can't tell you how thankful I am for that serum. When you're pregnant, you want progestation. You want progestins. You want that a lot. Many women who do not have enough of it have experienced great loss. And I do not want that for anyone. So my go-to is always Progestins Plus. Ningxia Red is my other one, Master Formula. If I had to just choose three, those are the three. On top of those, I would take Sulfurzyme, which is amazing because it has MSM. You can look it up. Your body needs it to be able to do the main functions of the body. And then the other one being Super B. You guys, Super B all the way. Okay, so things that can help with morning sickness. As I said, support your hormones. Sleep, drink liquids, avoid sugar because then you feel worse. Ningxia Red is what mine is all the time. Like sip a little bit of it every day, all throughout the day. Exercise, and this one doesn't get talked about a lot, but process your emotions. Oh, that one's hard for me. Your body is experiencing a lot of changes when you're pregnant. And when you're pregnant, a lot of emotions that may have been stuffed start coming back. So process them. Take the time that you need to do that. And then the other one I was going to say, I just thought of it off the top of my head. Oh, for nutrition. Your baby needs lots and lots and lots of fats and lots of protein. So when you're looking for a good fat or protein, and if you're feeling nauseated, it might mean because you're eating the wrong things. So the two things that I find are amazing, I've been taking there are two supplements. You have a MindWise and an OmegaGize. One is fish oil and one is a vegan option instead. So I take either one of those, and that helps a ton. And then on top of that, I find really dense protein. So not like chicken, but like beef and fish when I can get it. Those two have been amazing for whenever I'm feeling like, I'm starting to feel nauseated, to get that in me. And it's like a boost because your body needs the protein. Okay, so talked about all those. Now we'll talk about postpartum. I think postpartum is where people become very afraid. Because there's this idea of that you're going to have these massive mood shifts, and then you won't be able to take care of your baby, which I completely resonate and understand, because the first time that I was pregnant, I was away from my family completely. I had moved all the way across the country with my husband, and I was really alone, and I knew that I was a little bit depressed because I missed my family. So we had taken a birthing class. It was a great class. But one of the things they had talked about is when you start experiencing postpartum things, one of the things that's really important is your hormones. So one thing that causes the mood shifts, is your hormones end up dropping significantly. So when your placenta comes out, when the baby's placenta comes out, that is the hub of all of your hormones that you've been like spiking up all this the last 9 months. And then when you have the baby, it just goes straight down. So there are two things that I found helpful. One, this can sound gross, but eating the placenta. Now, there are people who encapsulate it, so they dry it out and then they take it as pills. There's a hard side and a soft side of placenta. We'd cut it down the center. The soft side we would cut into little pieces and freeze them. And then we'd take them out of the freezer and we'd put it into a blender with like blueberries, protein, like a Balance Complete or some kind of protein drink, along with oatmeal or different things. Blend it up and I would drink that. You guys, I could tell like within a minute of drinking it, my hormones all of a sudden started to balance out. So in other countries, that is very common to eat the placenta because it's full of all those hormones. So it's helping your body to maintain and not have this massive drop. The other one, Progestins Plus, because it's helping again to balance out your hormones. And then, so that's a hormone one for helping with the fluctuating mood. Postpartum as well for milk supply and for overall energy. I continue to say Ningxia Red helps support my adrenals as well. And then Master Formula. You guys, this is something that I keep forgetting. I have forgotten with other children. When people say prenatals, they go, oh, you're going to take your prenatals while you're pregnant because you're doing it for the baby. But after the baby's born, you don't need prenatals anymore. Wrong. So what are you doing after the baby's born? You're nursing them. So you're giving out, you can be more exhausted while nursing because you're feeding them as well. So again, good fats, good protein, avoiding sugar, and really the processed food is so hard on the body. The easier digestible, the more you will be able to absorb and maintain in your body. So those are some of my big, huge ones that has helped me. So Master Formula all the time. Ningxia Red and Progestins Plus. And on top of that, Super B and Sulfurzyme. Those are amazing. For people who experience hair issues after they have a baby, because all the hormones drop down again, they'll experience their hair falling out in massive chunks. Sulfurzyme all the way. Like Ningxia and Sulfurzyme. Just trust me on it and try it. Anyway, this is my jam. I love this so much. So I hope this was helpful for you. In terms of postpartum, there are a lot of other things, but I was talking mostly supplementation and nutrition. When your body is craving something in pregnancy or postpartum, oftentimes your body is either craving a mineral, so mineral essence is an amazing one, or a protein, needing fat or protein. So a lot of times your body might say, oh, I need sugar, because sugar is a fast way of feeling like you get that, because it's it's made into sugar, whereas protein has to turn into sugar to be able to be used. But it's similar to coffee. It gives you that spike and then you go afterwards. You need a consistent energy, not a quick fix. So I hope that's helpful today. I'm really excited that you all were able to hop on here. Ask any questions you have in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. I love this group, Wellness Culture. I hope you have an amazing evening and I will talk to you soon.